Good morning. I'm using my old phone today. I grabbed a old phone instead of the new phone, and the old phone doesn't have the spots on one camera, but it doesn't record at night very well, so you'll have to forgive me if you don't get to see much of anything. You'll still get to hear the dulcet sounds of my voice though, so enjoy that. I'm making this video this morning because this doesn't deserve a full video. But I'm making this video this morning for two reasons. Number one, to talk about words matter, and number two, to talk about not all. There isn't a legal argument to be made for everything you want a legal argument made for. As far as donations are concerned, or as far as words matter are concerned, we're talking about donations. Because one idiot thought the donations were tax deductible and therefore voluntary or something like that. And I don't know, he's just stupid. Anyway, political donations aren't tax deductible, so you're wrong there. And the word is essentially fungible with campaign contribution, but that doesn't really matter. What matters is that he is trying to misuse a word to make it mean what he wants it to mean. Now, when I say words matter, I typically mean words matter in statutes and case law. Statutes and case law, terms of art in the law, like statute of frauds, has a specific meaning. And if you don't know that specific meaning, you might think it has something to do with frauds, but it doesn't. It means that certain kinds of contracts need to be in writing to be enforceable. So instead of focusing on the fact that the tort of trespass was clearly being committed, if you want to call it that, instead, this person wanted to quibble over the campaign's use of the word "a $10 donation will get you entry and dinner." Entry to the event and dinner, and thought that somehow that since it said donation, that it was voluntary, therefore you could or could not donate as you saw fit, or you could donate less, etc. And that's not the way it works. Well, technically you could donate as little or as much as you wanted to get in. You had to donate at least $10. So you could donate $5, you don't get in, you don't get dinner. You could donate $100, you still just get in and you still just get dinner. And it's still not tax deductible. Now, if you did pay the $10, you would have what is called a license. You would be a licensee. You would have a legally recognizable right to be in that space. And your license would have to be revoked before you could be trespassed. Now, he did not pay the $10. He did not receive that license, be it in ticket form or verbal form, or just an understanding that he paid the $10 and could get in. So he didn't have a license. So he was trespassing. Now, if you think that my interpretation of what donation is wrong, let's look at real world examples. When I was a kid, at least, PBS would have fund drives where they would offer you, if you spend this amount of money, if you donate this amount of money, we'll give you this DVD set. It was DVDs back then. I'm sure I don't know. Actually, it wasn't DVDs back then. It was, what are those? I don't even remember. VHS tapes. God, I'm getting old. So yeah, if you donate this much, you get this particular result. We also see it if you think, well, that's different because that doesn't involve entry and dinner. Well, if you're rich, you have $10,000 just to throw away, you could have dinner with a political candidate. We saw that in 2016 with Hillary Clinton. $10,000 dinners. $10,000 would get you entry into the event and dinner, and maybe you'd even be able to talk to the candidate. Ooh. Or if you're poor folk like me, you could maybe buy a ticket to a crab feed or a spaghetti feed. Again, your donation, because typically those go to charitable causes. The last crab feed I went to was, I think, for the Lions Club. Yeah, it was the Lions Club. They buy glasses for poor kids. It's kind of nice. And you get crab out of it, so everybody wins. But it's exactly the same thing. These are real world examples of how this works. This isn't some tyrant's machinations from deep in the heart of Texas. This is normal everyday stuff that you guys are just too fucking stupid to know, which is boggling, but okay. I guess none of you have ever done charity dinners or anything like that. And I'm going to round out this with, I was asked to make a legal argument as to why my argument was wrong. And there is a misconception that a good lawyer will be able to make a legal argument for every situation. And, sometimes theft is okay if you have a good enough lawyer. Well, it doesn't actually work that way. The law, while there is some wiggle room, some gray area, I mean, it's not that loosey-goosey. There's usually case law which clarifies some of the gray area, and the whole point of the law is to make that gray area more and more refined so that that edge becomes sharper and sharper, more black and white. That is the function of case law. So you start with the statute and then you look at the case to see what the statute actually means. So there is not, generally speaking, going to be a good legal argument on most issues for a different result. What you do as a lawyer is, if you can't make a legal argument, if you make a legal argument to say that you're right and the other side's wrong, you go there, you stamp your foot and you say, I win, pay me. If you can't make a good legal argument, then your next step is to make an argument about the facts. You're going to say that the facts actually mean you use a different law, or that the interpretation of law changes because these facts apply in a different way. These facts don't meet these particular elements, what have you. You argue the facts. You put a spin on the facts. You can see a lot of this stuff going on in, actually no, I guess the impeachment trial isn't so much about spinning facts. They're discussing a lot of law there too. So I take that back. You can't really see it in the impeachment stuff, but I've been watching the impeachment and I'm just fascinated by it. But anyway, so if you can argue the facts, you argue the facts. If you can't argue the facts, you argue the law if you can argue the law. If you can't argue the law, then you argue the facts. If you can't argue the facts and win on the facts, well, that's when you just revert to making an appeal. It should be this way. What have you? You make your last ditch argument. It's probably not going to be good, and it's probably not going to win. But you throw it against the wall and you pray. It's the Hail Mary argument. That was a football reference, or at least what I think is a football reference. I'm probably wrong because I don't watch football, but I hear the Super Bowl's coming up and I'm going to a Super Bowl party, and I get to show my incredible lack of knowledge about football because there's two teams that both wear generally red and white that are going to be playing. And I'm going to have no idea who the fuck is who, nor do I care. So if you think you're going to put in the comments and you think I'm going to fucking care who's playing in the Super Bowl, I fucking don't, because it's retarded. It's a bunch of men in tight pants slapping each other on the ass as far as I care. And but hey, there's going to be food and beer and company there, so hopefully it'll be fun. Anyway, I've rambled long enough. Thanks for watching. Have a great day.